Hello and welcome to Mile High Reefers. My name is Scott Anderson and I will be your host for this channel.
No, I haven't lost weight. I haven't cut my hair. That's actually me 3 years ago from the very first video I put out. So this video is actually my 3-year anniversary for Mile High Reefers. Actually, I missed it by a few days, but who cares? Anyways, this video is going to be all about the last 3 years, where we've been, and then I'm going to give you little ideas of where we're going with this. So 3 years ago, I was running an Oceanic 90-gallon tank. So check it out.
So here's the wide angle of the 90-gallon. The lights that you see up on top are Odyssey lights that I purchased off eBay.
So yeah, it's not very good, is it? Why isn't it very good? Well, I'm on a budget. I don't have the money to go out and buy new Radions. I don't have the money to go buy new MP40 pumps for that tank. Everything's on a budget. So I'm trying to piece together a good system. The rock work sucks because that's what I had. I didn't have money to go spend on lots of new rocks. The lighting sucks. I didn't have the money to go buy new bulbs. This whole system has been built over the last 3 years of me just throwing $200 or $300 a month at this tank, other than a few big purchases like the lights in the tank itself. Now, early on, one of the biggest problems I had was convincing my wife to let me drill a hole in the...
I really enjoyed building it. There'll be much more to come in the future. I'm hoping to get a calcium reactor.
So the sump makes all the difference in my abilities to take care of the system. It makes it really easy for me to access everything and add stuff on. I've got loads of room to add equipment as I need to. And I'm slowly bringing frag tanks on now, which is really cool. But on that early 90-gallon tank, what I'm missing is aquascape and rocks. So I bite the bullet, I buy some dry rock, I buy some new light bulb, and check out the results.
Okay, so here's the full tank with the 15K lights on it. These lights are about 9 months old and they really don't do the corals in this tank justice. Okay, so here is the updated aquascape with the new Ushio lighting. So that's two 250 watt 20K Ushio bulbs.
So I got the hole in the floor, I've got the tank running, I'm starting to think about aquascaping, and I get ick. Yeah, sucks.
So I took the fish out for 2 months. The tank was completely fallow, which meant that all I had in there were invertebrates and no bony fish for the parasite to feed on. And you're probably thinking the same thing that I had to go through. How terrible was it having your favorite fish tank just completely fallow? Yes, it was terrible, but it did the job. After 2 months, I've put my fish back in, and I also used that time to re-aquascape and add some extra live sand and all that to the tank. But the virus died. The parasite that ick is has to live off of fish. So by taking the fish out of the system, they had nothing to eat, so they starved to death, and I, in essence, eradicated the disease without using any chemicals or disease other than the cordon I talked about earlier.
Ick in a reef tank is horrible. And unfortunately, there's only one way I know to fix it. And that's to take all your fish out of the tank and leave it fallow. Treat your fish and just let the tank sit. Now, I had to do this. Yeah, not much fun. But I don't have a better way to treat ick. And I don't know of anybody else who does. So that makes all the difference. And for the next month or two, maybe 3, that tank thrives. And then inevitably, it crashes. It's been quite a while since I made my last video, and a lot's happened since then.
If you remember the last time I was making a video, I had just gone through an STN issue, which I never figured out exactly what happened to. And since then, I focused on water quality, and then I had another big tank crash because my heater went out. Yes. And of course, it didn't fail on the cold side, it failed on the hot side. My heater failed on, and my tank went to 88 degrees for a while. I don't know how long that happened, but it was enough to kill probably half of the corals I had left. So it's been terrible. But things have finally stabilized, temperature's good, I've added new stuff. I feel like I'm finally getting to that point where I can start rebuilding. So, come take a look. Here's where I'm at. Alright, so here's the wide angle shot of the tank, and as you'll notice, a lot's missing from my last update. I've lost almost all of my SPS, except for 2 Montiporas. Everything else is dead. And I've lost a few of my softy colonies and a couple of LPS. I lost my big frog spawn. It's just been terrible. I've lost about half of my coral. So I managed to decline. I managed some cyano issues a little later on, and I rebuild. And I rebuild. And I rebuild. And finally, the tank looks awesome. So of course I gotta tear it down. Nothing else makes more sense than that. So I tear it down, and I put the 210 in. Alright, here it is. 90 gallon, right before the teardown. It's kind of a mess, but there's 2 years of really hard work. I think it's looking pretty good, but I think it's worth tearing it down for what I'm gonna get. Last night the brain coral fell on the anemone, which isn't looking good because the other day that bubble coral fell on him, so he's gonna struggle. We'll see how he does. But all in all, there is the last look of the 90 gallon before I tear it all down. So the 210 was a big build. It was a fun build. I love building tanks. Unfortunately, the 210 is probably as big as I'm ever going to get. I can't imagine fitting another big tank in my house. I just don't know where I'd put it. I'd love a bigger tank, but as far as space and expense, who knows if I'll ever be able to do it. But for now, this tank is thriving. Everything is how I want it. So what's next for this channel? I am currently building the built-in structure. It's actually in the garage, getting ready to get screwed in, probably in a week or two. And then I'll clad it in plywood, then I'll tile all that. It's a huge project. That's happening. I want to upgrade my lighting. I'd like to add some T5s with the LEDs. I have been seeing how that's going. The T5s with LEDs seems like the way to go at this point. It's kind of like the old days where we ran metal halides and T5s. Well, the T5s with the LED seem like they make sense, just like they made sense with the metal halides. So I'd like to do that. And of course, in the basement, the frag tanks are coming. I started this channel for 2 main reasons. First, I wanted to document my progression as a reef keeper. I want to be able to go back and look and see how my tanks changed. And the video YouTube format works great for that. And I also wanted to be able to share my experiences with other people and kind of get into this whole YouTube community. And it's been a blast. So thank you to all of you that subscribe to my channels, watch my videos. It's fantastic fun, and I really appreciate it. I know I was inspired by other reefers when I was struggling. That's what made me a strong reefer, is I went and I watched YouTube. I'm still watching as many channels as I can, watching the video updates. I love them. I love to see them coming. So I am going to continue making videos as long as this is fun. So thank you to the almost 1,800 of you who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you to all of you who have watched my channel. And I
really appreciate it. So, thanks again. If you haven't yet subscribed, subscribe. There's lots more videos coming. And if you like this episode, I appreciate thumbs up. Thanks again.